Welcome to Smart Brown Voices, your weekly podcast featuring diverse voices from around the world, giving you insights on how others made it big in their respective fields. Now sit back, grab a notebook, and get ready to be inspired. And don't forget to use hashtag #SmartBrownVoices to share insights, moments of wisdom, and things from the show that inspire you. And now, here's your host, social media nerd and technology activist, Mr. Mike Street.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mike Street here, and I'm here with the legendary April Walker of Walkerwear. April, can you kind of give us an overview of, Walkerwear and, a little bit about the history of your brand? Because you're celebrating your 25th anniversary this year, correct?
Yes, we are. This is April 22nd is actually projected technically our 25th. But yeah, we're in our 25th year, and I'm really excited about that. This year. It's been we actually started before that, but the brand itself is technically 25 years old this year.
Awesome. So give everybody a kind of just an overview of like how you got started with the Walkerwear brand, and where do you, where are you trying to take it today?
Sure. So Walkerwear is a lifestyle heritage brand. We started out late 80s, early 90s with the brand itself out of necessity. So I had a custom shop in Brooklyn, and I did a lot of tailored clothes. And from that experience, I found that my customers that came in for custom orders for special occasions, they were always asking me for outfits that I was making actually for artists that were frequenting the stores like Milk and Gibbs, like Shaggy and Sean Hood and Biggie and EPMD, and artists that I was working with, but they would ask me for those looks. And then the other thing that was happening was my customers were asking me for specific things like deeper pockets, more leg room, more crotch room, bootleg pants at the bottom tapered so they could fit over a Timberland. And those were non-existent at that time. The choices were like Calvin Klein and things like that were very fitted. A man could not put their hand in their pocket, literally, all fitted all the way in. So I recognized that, and I recognized that our market was being, when I say our market, our culture was not being serviced. So I offered those alternatives, and eventually that led the way for me to say, you know what, I'm going to create my own brand because I'm already making these cuts that didn't have the logo on. And it was specifically a denim suit, a crew neck, and a few items that I was making at that time that were just really popular, and they kept asking for the same thing. So that's what inspired me to start my brand out of a void that existed.
Now, what do you think happened to the custom market? Because we don't really see that too much anymore.
Right. I think that we live in, it does exist. I think it's so much more difficult to see now, everything, because so much is being done online. I'm even seeing you can do a lot of custom stuff now online with different
That's true.
clothing lines. But I think it's different because now it's changed. The main difference, I think, is people want convenience, and they want packaging, and they want now. And when you deal with custom, you have to have patience. You have to usually do fittings, and you can't get it right on the spot, So I think we live in a time of convenience and instant gratification in real time. Like, I want it yesterday, So I just think that the mindset is so fast-paced. It's probably a little different in terms of the supply and demand now.
Yeah, and that's so true because you can order like custom suits online. I think Boris Kudrow has his own collection,
right?
Where you can get, and you can also do shoes and everything else. So it looks like everything is just moved online.
Right, definitely true.
So, what are some of the things that you kind of have planned for the future of your brand, and where do you want to take it beyond 2015?
Beyond 2015, so Walkerwear, like I said, we're a lifestyle brand. When we relaunched because we really wanted to have this discussion and bridging the gap between Generation X and Y. my customer is much like the Gap customer in terms of it's a lifestyle. We really are part of that lifestyle. So we service everyone from the grandson to the grandfather that has emerged from this hip hop culture. And now it's evolved into a very commercially viable business, but also different genres that exist in generations and multicultural. So we really embrace that, and that's how we see our brand, and we see it domestically and internationally in 2015 and beyond. This is the first year I just am right now finishing, God willing, a cover that I can't really talk about yet in detail, but it's a Chinese lifestyle magazine. The magazine is out of China, and they're giving Walkaway the cover for 25 years, which is great for us because Jamel Shabazz shot it. It's like really embracing the culture as well as showing the evolution, and it's introducing us to a market that we never really had a lot of distribution in. You know, Japan and Europe, yes, we had a lot of love there, but Japan was not one of the places. So it's promising, and it's also inspiring to know that they were welcome to that. As well as I want to go to new markets, you know, and get back into Japan and some of the markets. I just came from Japan and had some good meetings. So I see myself ultimately going overseas. I see myself continuing to build my e-commerce platform in the States, along with very cool collaborations of very interesting artists and designers and retailers, and also pop-up experiences. You know, I'm really into the experience for the customer, and now I have that means to do it. So I don't want to just sell you clothes. I want to show you the lifestyle, and I want you to be able to see that in terms of experiencing it. And so I'm trying to provide you with that experience. This year we have our 25th year anniversary, and we're going to do a whole museum experience behind that, which will be celebrating our 25 years in the culture. And we're going to show you everything from videos to photos to, to clothing. We have customers and artists that have donated pieces to us to really just take you there in that time and walk you through the 25 years. So we're excited about that. And then a college tour in the fall. So we have a lot of different things coming up, and I'm really working hard on those experiences because I think that they further solidify not the brand as much as the fact that we are part of the lifestyle. And that's really important to me because I don't want to just sell clothes. I want to really contribute to the culture as well.
And what do you think was some of the keys of your success to last for 25 years?
I think that I'm passionate. I still have the passion in what I do, and I believe in it. I think everything starts with that. I think God has just, been good. So let me start there and just say that I get to wake up every morning and do what I love, and I do recognize that as a blessing. But I think that, I maintain a vision, and that vision is staying authentic to who I am and authentic to what I think the culture is growing and continues to morph and hopefully evolve. And I want to be a part of that process. So, those things combined, I just think consistency is really important, and really, giving people quality goods and maintaining a bar of excellence, shooting for that, aiming for that. So those are the kind of things that I think about when I think about it, and just really not overthinking things, but staying creative and keeping yourself around a lot of creative people. Particularly, I like to be around a lot of younger creative people because I think that you get your freshest and your, most evolving ideas from young people.
Awesome. One more question. So one thing I've noticed is that here at Fashion Week and, kind of fill a void of hip hop a little bit. Back in the day when I, was going to shows, we had Diddy and we had Kimura, we had Russell, and I felt like there was an element of hip hop on the runway. But now I feel like the only hip hop I see is if a designer decides to put, a few urban or street, clothes into his collection, or mainly something that Jeremy Scott has put together. He has a lot of urban through his, through his collection. But so what do you think kind of happened to, to the Black designers that were really showing that have more of an urban feel?
I think that's a really hard question in the sense that it's not one factor. I think there were a lot of different generating factors at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to give you an answer, I would say one of the main things is it's always comes down to distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with music, with art, with film, with fashion. And whoever controls the distribution has a better hand. And in fashion, we never have had control of our own distribution and factories. In the back end, we're pretty much creative, and we've always been creative. And when you don't have the distribution control, you're at beck and call to the actual operations and the people that actually control the distribution platform. So if they are that stop, it stops. Or with fashion, with particularly urban fashion, there was a formula that was developed. And I think that once that formula became a cookie cutter formula, they were able to basically put out a lot of the business itself. I'm saying the industry was able to understand that formula and it became diluted. And once that became diluted, there was no need for, the face in front of the brand. It was more about, okay, this is what we need. Here's the formula, and we can do this ourselves. So, it's cutting out a middleman, so to speak, if you don't control it. So I think that's one of the main things that happened, along with it became oversaturated. Mm-hmm. And it became very oversaturated. I think in around 2000, you had an influx of celebrities that were trying to get into the business from the music side. They were trying to become fashion people. And I think that some of those celebrities, they didn't mean to. I understand they had a blueprint because they saw I'm wearing all these other designers' clothing and making them money. I want to do my own. The problem was they didn't get the right people in terms of industry professionals, fashion industry professionals, and machines behind them. Like Puffy did a great job. Diddy did a great job at teaming up with serious fashion industry people that were able to actually monetize his business and his vision. And he was very much a part of that vision. So that's why Sean John executed well. But I think that you can't put your name on something and walk away and expect it to be okay, especially if you don't put all the right people in process. So I think that became really, really strong. At the same time, the oversaturation of the business, along with that factor, along with we were being diluted in branding and the formula was figured out. So I think there were so many factors that existed, and there was only but so much real estate in brick and mortar. So all of those factors, if I just answered that would be my answer.
Awesome. Well, April, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us on Smart Brown Voices, especially during this busy season.
No, thank you for thinking of me.
And, so everybody out there, make sure you visit walkerwear.com and check out some of, her products and her T-shirts and everything else from her full collection. And also, look her up and look at some of her, her historical pieces, because she has tons of great images of, pretty much everybody wearing, who is a legend in hip hop wearing the Walker Wear brand, from Tupac to Biggie to Mike Tyson going into the ring with one of the Walker Wear brands. So, and Aaliyah also very, very early on back in her day. So, there's tons of history there.
And tons of pictures on Instagram to see that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for listening to Smart Brown Voices with your host, Mr. Mike Street. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll leave a review on iTunes and tell your friends and colleagues. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts, and make sure to follow us on social media. This has been a Mr. Mike Street production. Join us next time for another edition of Smart Brown Voices, and be inspired.